Hi, First Violins. Here's your practice recording for Arabian Dreams. I'll play the solo part at the beginning just so you can kind of mess around with it. It's a fun solo to play, and you can take some freedoms with it too as far as tempo and style. So here's the beginning. Again, we'll just have one person play this for the concert, but feel free to play around with it. So no sharps or flats, but remember we have a bunch of accidentals, mostly G sharps in the piece. Okay, so here's the solo beginning. 1, 2, 3, 4. Two, three, 1. 1, 2, 3. 2, 3, 1. Now here's where everybody comes in the tutti at 12. 1, 2. Slowing down and tempo. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, and up bow. And I'm going to pause here just for a minute to talk about what I just played. Okay, so notice when I start at 20 that those eighth rests are truly a little half beat of silence. There is a stop in your bow. Stop. Stop. So make sure you are creating that little break in there. That's important. As far as your notes go, like I said at the beginning, you've got accidentals. So watch the G sharp to F natural. That's a step and a half. That's what puts this piece in a harmonic minor key. So a G sharp, F natural, or on the E string. So listen carefully to tuning for that. At 38, right before I stopped, notice that there's a staccato marking on your quarter note. So I'm actually lifting my bow off the string to get a nice little break. 1, 2, 3, lift. 1, 2, 3, lift. So it keeps it short, but it also allows me to retake and start back at the frog for the longer smooth dotted half notes. So 1, 2, 3, lift. 1, 2, 3, lift. Like that. Okay, so one other thing, in measure 36, be careful of your rhythm here. 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 1. Okay, make sure beat 3 is long. And then measure 49, 1 and a 2, 3 and a 4. Like that with a nice high G sharp high 2. Okay, so now we're going to take 50. This is where we start to speed up the accelerando poco a poco until we hit the allegro at 59. So again, you've got a high 2, low 1 pattern, and just kind of follow me as we speed up through this section. So here's measure 50, starting slower and then speeding up. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, so then hopefully you followed at 62. There's a rallentando, or slowing down for those 1, 2, 3, 4 measures, and then a tempo at 66 for the galloping section. All right, so again, practice that maybe without speeding up so you can get your notes together. There's a little bit of shifting to third position or using extended fours for your Cs, and then try it with speeding up. All right, so now we're here at 70. The cellos and violas have been doing their galloping rhythms, string crossing rhythms, and now we're at 70. Again, G sharp, high 3 on D. Be careful about that, and then low 2 for F natural. So here's 70. 1, 2, and 3, and 4. Two things in that last section. Bow lift after 71. We talked about that in class. Make sure you do a full circle back for your bow lift. And then, what was the other thing? Oh, when you're going to the G string, make sure that's a high 2. You've been doing all these low 2 F naturals. But then at 73, high 2, not a B flat, but a regular B. All right, so now keep going at 77. This is the same thing, but an octave higher. 1, 2, 3, 4. Lift. Good, so same thing, low 1 on the E string for F natural, but regular 1, B on the A string. Make sure you know where your first finger is going. All right, so now we're at 85. Our orchestra's in unison here. Everybody's together. Watch out, same deal, F natural, G sharp. 1 and 2 and 85. Lift. Yep, and that last one's a big one. Make sure that F natural is very low. All right, so then you break for a little bit. 97 is just some quarter notes. Let's go to 101. So double down bows here, and again, this isn't a hook. We are doing a quick little circle back, about at the balance point of the bow. Okay, and again at 102, be careful. You'll want to rush those 2 quarter notes, but that's just on beats 2, 3. All right, so start 101 and go up to 105. Here's 101. 1 and a 2 and 3 and. Okay, so watch the hook bow in there. There's actually 2 sections of hook bows. And now we're at 105, doing bow lifts every other measure. So pay attention to your bowing here. It does follow a pattern. Here's the first one. Okay, and then the next measure. Okay, the quarter note at the end makes it unnecessary to lift at the beginning of that measure. So you only lift at 105, not at 106. Then you lift again at 107, and again at 109 and 111. So every other measure you're doing that bowing. All right, so here's 105 slowly. Do use an open E. We want to kind of get the effect of a string cross and that ringing open E sound. Careful with your low 1 on the open E though, or on the E rather. All right, so here's 105 slowly. 1 and a 2 and 3 and. You can see it just repeats itself over and over. Keep your first finger down and let your bow do all the work. All right, so let's try it a little faster now. So keep doing that. If that was a little confusing as far as what string you're supposed to be on, keep doing that slow until you can gotta build the muscle memory of where your arm is going at what time. But here's speeding up a little bit. 105, 1 and 2 and 3 and. And notice how I'm keeping those eighth notes really staccato. That's going to help keep it clean and give you time to change your strings cleanly. All right, so that's that section now. Just one more line. 113. Careful of your rhythms here. Some eighths and sixteenths. Be careful where those sixteenths lay. Same thing, you're doing a double down at the beginning. But here's 113, a little on the slow side to catch the rhythms here. 1 and a 2 and 3. Okay, so So keep looking at that until you get those rhythms down. Notice that for the last couple of measures it says non-divisi. If possible, go ahead and play both notes. You gotta have to make that tunnel. Put your first finger on the A string and play the open E with it. So you have that. So here's 113 at tempo for the last line here. 1 and a 2, 3. All right, and nice and shorter than the last note.